Okay, GM everyone, and we're back again. Massive week for you guys last week, and we're gonna cover off a few things today. So we're gonna talk about Xverse. I got my Xverse wallet this week, and I've got to say, mate, dead easy, dead
Get
easy.
it.
Haven't done much with it yet, so I'm keen to learn some more as well. And then also keen to hear what you guys have been up to, BTC Miami, and of course there's a little matter of a mint coming up as well for OCM. So let's get into it. I'm Mr. Yellow. Do you want to introduce yourselves quickly?
Yeah. So I'm Mike Chavez. So I work for MetaGood. MetaGood is the company that runs OnChainMonkey. We're an Ethereum based NFT collection that is now expanding onto Bitcoin. We inscribed our Genesis collection back in February 8th in inscription 2021-9. So we're the first 10K collection to be inscribed on Bitcoin. And yeah, we've got a lot of amazing things that we're building on Bitcoin. We recently partnered with Ashby Bugatti, and we have our OCM Dimensions, which is our second collection that we're launching on Bitcoin. And the first 300 will be minting next week, May 31st. So we have an application if folks are interested. It's on our website. We'll go through that in a little bit. But yeah, I want to throw it to Jan.
Yeah, first of all, guys, as always, super happy to be here. Always a pleasure to hang out with OnChainMonkey fam. And we're gonna talk about all the good stuff, BTC Miami, your upcoming mint, and obviously if people have any questions, specific questions to me from the wallet perspective and Xverse perspective, I'm more than happy to answer anything, because I know that it can sometimes be overwhelming at first, and so happy to do my best to help mitigate any potential issues or problems or stress situation that can arise from this. But yeah, I'm Jan. I am basically leading commercial side of Xverse, and at the same time, I am an OnChainMonkey member. Have been for actually quite a while already. Like I got my karma when I first learned about Danny when he did the interview with Kevin Rose on the Proof podcast. So that's how I learned about Danny and what you guys are doing. And right that second or like month afterwards, when you guys were minting karmas, like I just got one like immediately, and then bought my Genesis as well a couple months after that. And I'm super stoked for the ordinals, man. Like that's what I'm gonna do. Like I'm going after it. I'm minting for sure, So I'm super stoked for that. And yeah, that's me. And yeah, guys, let's get into it. I unfortunately have like 25 minutes, but I would love to cover as much as I can and provide as much value as I can.
Absolutely. So yeah, me and Jan, we've been talking for months now. What's really amazing about the NFT space, I think it's very different from just like straight crypto, like the fungible market. We actually, as in NFTs, like we're meeting each other online. We're working together, across companies, across NFT communities. And then I got to meet Jan for the first time last week in real life in 3D, and it's absolutely like an amazing dude, Mr. Yellow. Like I can't wait till we meet. I know that's going to happen. And it's about this more than anything is about people connecting, and so anyways, it's just been a real pleasure to get to know both of you. And now like look at what we're doing here. It's just amazing. So I'm really interested, Jan, like Xverse is, I think, one of the premier wallets that people are using for ordinals. We chose to go with Hero and Xverse for our Dimensions list, and people are loving Xverse. So tell us a little bit more about, what are you guys working on right now? What's some of the most exciting things that you're looking at?
Yeah, guys, like first of all, really appreciate it again. And I just want to, before we get into Xverse, I just want to say that, what we did in Miami and what I experienced, just meeting you guys and meeting Danny, it's really just like a manifestation of the values that you guys pushing on to everybody in the space, because you guys are just so friendly. You want to help out one another, you work out with one another. Like, we went for a workout on the beach, and like all these different things that, again, man, I'm part of many communities in NFTs. You know, I'm a degen, but you cannot really see this every time. You know, you don't see it in every single community. And so I just want to kind of put it out there for everybody who maybe didn't have a chance to hang out with you in real life. I just want to encourage people to go to these events whenever you can. Obviously, I know sometimes you cannot fly all over the world just to meet people for one event, but whenever you can, please do so, because I think you're going to get so much value. You're going to build so many great connections and even friendships, you know, just through this. And that's what I find the most valuable. Like, you know, I mean, the degening and trading, it's the second thing, or investing, whatever, but really meeting these people in real life and making connections and building things together. I mean, that's priceless, right, to me. And so I just want to put it out there. You know, for Xverse, so yeah, you know, you're right. So, you know, we are 100% focusing on basically elevating the experience that exists today for ordinals, right? And, you know, like, to be frank, it's going to take time, right? So because we have been in this for the past like maybe 3-4 months. And so we started basically, we didn't start from zero because we have been building on Bitcoin for the past 2 years. So we kind of understand how to do these things, but specifically building the ordinals experience, it's still very new. We are learning a lot of things in the process. We're talking with our users. We're getting feedback. We're always improving. And so ultimately, that's what we want to do. You know, like, we want to listen to our users and we want to build the best, safest, and most easy to use experience for wallets in Bitcoin, you know. And obviously now it's ordinals because that's what we all love. And that's what brought many of us here. But at the same time, you know, like, there's going to be many more innovations on Bitcoin happening in the next couple of years and in the near future that we want to build for that, you know. And so that's our kind of ultimate mission and goal. And so, you know, again, it may take a few months, you know, sometimes it takes a while to launch all the amazing features that I have in my mind, but we're going to get there, and we want all of your feedbacks, you know. And so guys, like, anytime, just shoot me a message or, you know, like, find me somewhere and let's discuss this, because we want to make it the best wallet for all of you guys.
Yeah, it'd be great if we could kind of get an OCM kind of feedback group, because lots
100%.
of people, yeah, lots of people are going to do it for the first time, me included. You know, I just did mine this week. I've loaded up, seamless,
Nice.
Everything was clean. You know, the website was helpful. Didn't really need it, if I'm honest, but you know, it was there and it backed up everything, and I could find out a bit more. And a lot of OCM people will be going through that, so it'd be really cool to get a group together.
Yeah, actually, guys, what I'm thinking, and we kind of dropped the ball on this because we have been so busy, but we're going to make a thread on this. So we're going to make a thread on how to use Xverse to mint OnChainMonkey, you know, dimensions. And maybe I will need your help to maybe add slight context, because obviously it's not live yet, but we can create some sort of like step-by-step, even a video, how people can load up the wallet easily, how they can go to your website, sign in, and do all of these different things. I mean, again, it's super simple, but we can make a thread to just make sure that everybody is like, you know, they don't have to stress about it. Oh, I'm going to make a mistake, which, you know, again, like, you know, we're still talking about quite a bit of money for this mint. So I want to make sure that everybody feels confident. And so let's do that. I would shoot for next week, maybe to do something so that we can get people in a easier way.
I think it's super important when people are new to it as well. They know what to expect, because what I expect would be some sort of combination of what I've done on Solana, what I've done on ETH, what I've done on Polygon. But is this a good message or a bad message, sort of, and what's going to happen at what point? So I think combining like the wallet side stuff with the OCM side stuff would just make it super simple for the end user to just, hey, watch this video. That's the experience you're going to do. That's what to expect. You know, I think that'd be brilliant.
Yeah. You know, definitely let's do it. Let's make it happen. And, you know, any questions, you know, even when the mint is ongoing, what we can also do, you know, like, I can be on standby in your Discord and just like make sure when people have questions, because ultimately, again, this is 300 people, right? It's not going to be 3,000 people or something like that. So I think we can easily handle that. And I just want to make sure, as you said, guys, like that everybody has a great experience, and so we can definitely plan for that, and I can be on standby in Discord or something, or somebody from our team if I'm like, let's say, somewhere on the plane or whatever, because I'm actually going to be flying to London on the 31st. I'm going to be attending the Asprey Studio Gallery opening. I'm going to be meeting Amanda and a bunch of other community members there. And so if I'm on the plane on the 31st, when the mint like is just about to happen, we can have somebody else from our team to support. And let's definitely make it happen. I think, Mike, you asked me before this call, like, what are some of the like kind of like key things to keep in mind? I think that from my experience, obviously helping other people with mints and doing many mints by myself, ultimately just like take your time and get prepared in advance, like meaning that, let's say if you need to fund your wallet, obviously that's something that you guys are encouraging people to do in advance anyways, because that's how you kind of can get on the list, right? So definitely do it as soon as you can, just to kind of have the opportunity to even participate in the mint. But in general, just just be ready, because it's never good to be stressing out last minute about sending Bitcoin from somewhere to your wallet, because you can easily make a mistake, right? You can easily like send it to a wrong address or this and that, and then you're gonna be kind of like really stressing out. Did I lose it? Did I not lose it, or this? So it's always better to just kind of get ready and even kind of like test it out a couple times, meaning that like you go to the website and you see how it looks, get familiarize yourself, make sure that you're always on the right website. So like even let's say bookmark the official website to make sure that you don't end up on a scam website by any chance, because that can happen too. Some people will try to take advantage of this, right? Before the mint, it's hype mint, and they're going to be spreading different kind of tweets and messages. And, like it can easily happen to anyone. Like it happened to me in the past, that I would click on a seemingly official website and it wasn't. Fortunately, I didn't get hacked, but like in the stress, in the moment when you're doing so many different things and you want to make sure, you don't miss it, whatever, these things can happen. You can easily overlook stuff. And these scammers are getting so much more sophisticated these days. And so you really make sure that you kind of familiarize yourself with everything. You double check official website, official Twitters. You talk to people like Mike in Discord just to make triple sure that that nothing like that can happen to you. And then, beyond that, just like again, like ask a question, like if something is not going according to what you think it should be, like even the mint, right? Like it can happen easily that the website will go down, or, like you click mint and nothing happens immediately, right? Like these things happen all the time, and it can be done by too much traffic on the website, or it can just be some sort of small glitch, in the wallet, or, in the mint side, or whatever else in the indexer, right? Like Ordinal's indexer. We have seen it in the past. It's not something that is going to cost you money, but like in that moment, things will not really appear as they should, maybe even in the wallet. Like it happened to us when we were doing the DGOTS mint, for instance, which is like high value mint. Like people were actually spending like $8,000 for these DGOTS, right? And at that specific time, the indexer went down, which, wasn't our fault. Like, just ultimately the Bitcoin blockchain went through a reorg, and that caused that some of these indexers that are developed by other people, by other companies, just went down. And for a couple of minutes, they didn't work. And so you couldn't see your NFTs in the wallet in that specific moment, even though they were there, but you couldn't see them. And so, many people obviously started freaking out, and, we tweeted about it, and everybody tweeted about it. DGOTS tweeted about it. Hey, like, don't do anything. Everything is fine. It's just like, you need to wait for a couple minutes. And so again, just like the learning from this is just like, if something appears to be wrong, and you didn't do any like confirm transaction on some scammy website or this and that, if you didn't do anything, but it still appears wrong, then probably it's just some sort of short-term glitch that you just wait. You ask somebody, hey, what happened? What's happening? Go to the website, go to the official Twitter. People will tweet about it. They will give you some sort of announcement. And, probably in 5 minutes, it's going to be fine, And so that's kind of the learning that we had from some of these like really hype mints. Things can go wrong and will go wrong. It happens on Ethereum all the time as well. And the same thing on Bitcoin. and just ask a question, instead of doing something that is going to be like a stupid decision at the end of the day, just because you were stressed out and you felt like, oh yeah, like I made a mistake, So that's kind of like, the message, I would say.
I think not expecting things to be instant is the given. So like you were saying,
that's for sure, right?
Make sure you order your Bitcoin early, because don't expect it to just be there in 2 minutes. It might be there in 2 minutes, but it's pretty likely it's going to be longer, Yeah.
And, one more thing, Yellow, when it comes to funding your wallet, right? Because you guys have that limit, to fund like 0.08, right? If I'm not mistaken. So make sure you fund more, because you will have to pay for the network fees to do the mint. So if you fund exactly 0.08, you're not going to be able to do the transaction because you need to pay for network fees. And I don't know, it could be $3 or it could be $30, depending on how busy the network is going to be at that specific point, right? So fund a little bit more. I think $50 should be okay, rule of thumb, because, probably it's not going to be anything crazy, who knows. But just make sure you have enough so that you don't have to like then rush that specific moment, like, oh shit, I don't have enough and I need to like buy, I need to go exchange, and it's going to take me 3 hours to like send from my bank account, to here, and then it's going to take another hour to send the Bitcoin from exchange. Like we have all been there. So like make sure you fund enough for the network fees. Better more, you can always send it back. You can do whatever afterwards. But just make sure that you have enough, otherwise you're going to, again, start stressing, because there is going to be just maybe a short window to mint and I don't have enough. What do I do? Should I ask my friends to send me Bitcoin? I mean, you can do that, but like, again, like I wouldn't recommend it, because whenever you need to do something that is not really a proper way of doing things, things can go wrong. So
I want to throw some flowers, mate. I want to throw one of your USPs for Xverse. The fact that if you send it to the wrong address, you can put it back within the wallet.
Yeah. You can do that.
So if you send it to your wrong account, like I've heard so many people who are sitting in limbo, some of them really, really knowledgeable in NFTs, who are sitting in this state where they're going, well, I sent it to the wrong one, so I'm kind of sat here at the moment and I don't know what I can do. And obviously on Xverse, you can do that.
Yes, 100%. So basically, right now we still have 2 accounts, and we did it at the beginning for the security reasons, because the ordinals, we're kind of at the very beginning, and the way how it behaves, we just wanted to make sure we separate paying for fees and
There's
sending
3
ordinals.
accounts, isn't there, mate?
Sorry?
3 accounts. Isn't there?
So
like the
for ordinals it's just 2, or for Bitcoin, and then we also have like Stacks NFTs and others. But that's not really related. The good thing about this mint is that because Danny and the team, they're super dope, so they already integrated with our API. So everything is automatic. You don't even have to think about the addresses, because you just go to the website, you log in with your Xverse wallet, you say, I want to mint this, and you're automatically going to do it and receive the ordinal to the right address. So everything is done automatically. You don't even have to think about which address to choose and where to copy paste. Like we don't have that in this specific situation. But, ultimately in the future, we have listened to people's feedback. We're actually going to merge, the addresses, meaning that you're just going to have one address for everything. And we figure out on the back end how to separate things and how to make it easy to use and safe to use. So we're actually going to do that in the future. But right now, you don't have to worry about if you send it to the wrong address, as long as it's in Xverse and it's in the Bitcoin address. Like you can always recover it. You can send it back and forth. You can do whatever you want. And so just make sure that it stays in Xverse, right? Because if it goes out of Xverse, let's say you send ordinal to a centralized exchange, then there is nothing we can do. We cannot really help you with that, because we don't have a control over that address, or you don't have a control over that address either. And so we cannot really build tools for that to recover. But for Xverse we can do, because we have seen that people actually made those mistakes in the past. So we we adjusted the product to it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I've had such a wonderful experience using Xverse. Use Hero as well, and what's cool about I think what you guys are doing is you're basically, I think, building one of the super wallets for Bitcoin. But you guys are very open in the way that you're building, and I think that's going to go a long way in the Bitcoin community. I know it goes a long way in the OnChainMonkey community. And yeah, I just really appreciate you and the team. Getting to meet Elizabeth in Miami was awesome as well. You guys just have an amazing team, and I'm super looking forward to this mint. People, I think, are going to be super excited about Dimensions. So yeah, I'd like to just hop into Dimensions real quick, and then hopefully we can chat a little bit about Bitcoin Miami as well. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. 1 second here. I'm on a different computer than normal. Let me see here. Share screen. All right.
Okay.
So hopefully you guys can see the video here.
I can see that. Let's go.
Let's go. So yeah, this is OCM Dimensions. It's a first of its kind, groundbreaking 3D generative art collection, directly on chain, fully on chain, inscribed on Bitcoin. And so this is what people are going to be minting next week. What you're seeing here is a couple of the grails that are in the collection. So I'm just going to pause the video here. So this is an alien fur, and it gets these special attributes, these coins, as well as this glossy, really amazing looking, color scheme there. I'll just rewind real quick so you can see. This is the gold fur. This is our most rare. We've got alien fur, and then this, of course, is a naked, meaning it has no clothes, no hat, no earring. But so these are some of the grails in the collection, and basically it's a 2,500 piece collection. But the first 300 are going to be minted directly on Bitcoin. The other 2,000 are for our OCM members, and they will get basically they'll be able to purchase an Ethereum based NFT that will be burnable for Dimensions. So it's very similar to our desserts, if anybody's familiar with those. And so basically, yeah, it's going to be a unique mint. So we are continually innovating in the way that we're using the Ordinals protocol, using partially signed Bitcoin transactions, and all of the amazing technology that's available on Bitcoin. We're really looking to build things that are going to advance the entire industry, as well as our company and community. So it's a very unique mint. Getting to mint the first 300, it's very special. It's going to be obviously like the first 300 numbers. So people who are collectors like to have those low collection numbers. And it's also going to be a first of its kind mint experience. So we'll be sharing some details, and I can't wait for the Xverse thread, because that's going to be perfect to help people understand. But we'll be sharing details in the next few days about what this mint will be, what it will be like, what we're basically bringing to Bitcoin that hasn't been done before. And the 300 are based on rare Genesis DNA. So all of the dimensions that get made are going to be based on an actual Genesis that exists in our Genesis collection. And these 300 are based on 300 Genesis that are owned by our company MetaGood. So these have never been traded on Ethereum or Bitcoin. Nobody's ever really seen them unless they've gone and looked through the collection. So there's a ton of rares. You've got aliens, gold furs, nakeds, laser eyes. It's a really good opportunity to mint a grail. There's I think close to 50 what I would call grail dimensions in this 300. So getting to be one of these 300 gives you a very good chance at minting a grail. And we wanted to basically we wanted to commemorate the amazing innovation that is Bitcoin. And so we decided to inscribe each one of these 300 on Satoshis from January 2009, which is the month and year that Bitcoin went live. And so, you know, getting to own one of these, you're getting to own not only this groundbreaking art, this groundbreaking technological, I think, innovation on Bitcoin, because there's probably not anything like Dimensions yet on Bitcoin. And once we launch this, I think it's going to inspire others. And I'm really excited for that. So you're getting to own, I think, a legendary collection in and of itself, but it's also inscribed on some very significant Satoshis. And the mint price is 0.08. It's going to be minting next week, May 31st. And all you got to do to be a part of this 300 is basically go click this button to apply for the mint list. So let me just click this real quick. So I've already applied. It's a very quick application. I think Jan and Mr. Yellow can attest. But basically the last step is you just connect either your Hero or your Xverse wallet. You know, definitely, you know, we're big fans of Xverse. So I would say, you know, recommend Xverse if it's your first wallet. You know, send out a tweet. So you just click the tweet button. It'll take you to Twitter. You know, in the first step, you're going to end up connecting your Twitter. So you'll be able to tweet that you've applied. We're accepting people on a rolling basis. So we've been announcing people today and all through the rest of the week. The application closes this Friday, the 26th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific. So still a couple days. We've got a lot of people to announce left. So there's still plenty of opportunity. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this minting this collection next week. I think it's going to be legendary. And yeah, that's about it on Dimensions.
Do you know roughly how many you've invited already? I mean, asking for a friend, not me at all. But yeah, no. Do you know how many have gone out roughly so far? Guesstimate.
Yeah, I would say we've done less. We've announced less than, I think, 30. I could say. I believe.
Oh, really? That low?
Maybe it's less than 50, but there's still a lot of people that we are going to announce. We probably won't do everybody, all 300 via Twitter. So eventually will just be, you know, we'll make an announcement that there's a list on the website. You can go back and check, you know, your application if you've been approved. But yeah, we've still got a lot of people to apply, and this is an amazing opportunity for us as well as the people that we're inviting in, because we have one of the best, if not the best, community in the NFT space. And, you know, there's still a lot of great people out there that we haven't connected with. And so this is an amazing opportunity for people to be early. Like, you're the first 300 in this collection. And it's the first collection that we're making available on Bitcoin. It's not the first one we've inscribed, but it's the first one we're making available. And so, you know, if you look back at kind of the history of NFTs, like, there's some legendary collections that were launched, and the people that got to be a part of those, you know, not only hold one of the most valuable assets, but they're a part of history and they're a part of building the space. And that's really what we're looking for. We're looking for people that want to build with us, because, you know, we're building the wealthy digital nation that is OnChainMonkey.
Nice. Just thinking about it, after Dimensions, what's the timeline like for the second phase?
What do you mean second phase?
So like, you've got the 300 minted.
Okay. Yeah. So we haven't set a date for the other 2,000, which will be made available to OCM members. There's only 2,000 of those. So not every OCM, you know, we've got 10,000 Genesis, I think about 12,000 Karma at this point. So not all of our holders will get to mint the 2,000 on Ethereum. But basically owning an OCM set, so that's any Genesis plus any Karma 1 plus any Karma 2, gets you the highest chance at getting an allocation. But yeah, basically we'll be launching that pretty soon after, not like the next day. And we'll have more information, I think, next week about that. But yeah, it's not going to be a super long time before the OCMs get to own the Ethereum asset that will be burnable for Dimensions.
Yeah, and all of the information's on the website about that, isn't it, as well?
Yeah. We talk about the 2,000 on there as well.
Excellent. I had a follow-up, but it'll come back to me.
No worries. So I know Jan, I think you probably got to get going soon, but I would really be remiss if we didn't talk about the amazing things that happen.
Yeah, let's do it, man. But actually, I actually just pushed my thing, for next 5 minutes, so we can do that. But
Let's go.
man, I actually want to ask
go.
you
That's
as well.
why I love Jan.
Yeah, I wanna ask you, because I saw, like, obviously you start with the 300, but then there is like 2,000 more or something like that. So can you like share a little bit of alpha, like how that's gonna work? Like, I'm just personally really curious, because I have my full set ready, and I'm not sure if that's enough, so like I just want to kind of understand.
Yeah, so we established tiers. So tier 1 is our celestial and our superset. So celestial, there's only 20 celestials, and each of them will get an airdrop. But we recently created what's called a superset for our whales. And so if you have 20 OCM sets, that also gets you into tier 1. So I myself am a little bit of an OnChainMonkey whale, so I've got to create my superset and I'll get a free airdrop of this Ethereum NFT. But outside of that, owning an OCM set is it's the second tier down. And basically that's going to get the highest allocation of the Ethereum based NFT collection. And then from there it goes Genesis and then Karma. So if you own a set, you're going to have a chance at the tier 2 allocation, the tier 3 allocation, and the tier 4. So you have a really high chance by owning a set. And that's why we've seen people have been eating our desserts to create their set.
I saw it, man. It's pumping, the floor is pumping again. Like non-financial advice, guys, but it was just like so amazing to see, like how people get excited for this again, so, yeah, let's I'm just really curious what's going to happen in the next week or so, like
it's going to be exciting. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's been going crazy. Like, if people were paying attention, the Bitcoin frogs, they pumped really, really heavily last week. It sounds like it's been
crazy market. Yeah. And, I mean, things came down since then, since like the super hype, but, it's very interesting to see that, more and more people are interested in these things, so
yeah,
I'm just super hyped,
It's really crazy. And this is like a nice segue into Bitcoin Miami, because I remember when I first talked with you, with Trevor, with Leonidas back in February, when, if people don't know, Jan is one of the co-hosts of the Ordinals show. It's definitely one of the best Twitter spaces out there to learn about Bitcoin and Ordinals. I've learned a ton on that show, but we talked in February, right after we inscribed our Genesis collection. And I remember talking with you guys about a lot of this stuff. We were right on the money. Like, we were saying, like, this is going to be an exponential unlock for Bitcoin. It's going to be an S curve that brings in people from the Ethereum community, and it's going to bring in people from the Bitcoin community to be working in NFT, to be like building NFTs, collecting NFTs that never did before. And we're literally seeing that happen in real time. And it's happening very quickly. It is exponential. So people who, didn't understand Bitcoin or didn't understand Ordinals or any combination, they're actually starting to understand, and they're starting to get very curious. They're starting to learn, and we're seeing, I'm seeing like a lot of activity, a lot. All the signals are there that, there's going to be a lot of interest. And I think, in the next cycle, which will be, the next bull market, it's going to be centered and driven by Ordinals and NFTs on Bitcoin. So I think we saw a little bit of that last week in Miami with, I think it was like 4 or 5 days of amazing events. I met honestly some of the best people I've met in the space. Everybody's super hyper focused on actual building. It's not about like pumping up the floor. Like, I didn't hear anybody talk about the floor of their NFT collections or, what's the market doing. Everyone is very interested in building useful applications, which that interests me because that's how we move the industry forward. But yeah, Jan, I'd like to get your take on, what did you feel going into it, and what did you feel coming out of it? Did it match up, or did it exceed expectations? Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, man. Just to confirm, because I was actually sending a message just to somebody I was supposed to meet. We're talking about Miami, right now. So
yes.
Yeah. So just to confirm, not to lose the track, but man, I was you know, I think it definitely exceeded my expectations in a way, just like meeting everybody and connecting with everybody, and even seeing that ordinals are basically, or were, the center of the whole conference. You know, I think, you know, truth to be told, I expected a little bit more people, right? Like, you know, I think we kind of like knew that it's a bear market conference, and so it's probably not going to be full of people, and it's not going to be the same as previous years, like many people talked about it. I kind of expected that there could be more people with everything that's happening, but ultimately many people said it's like 50% less people than in previous years, you know, the conference itself. And so it's actually exciting to kind of even think about the fact that this could be twice as big, you know, in the future. So you know, it's actually pretty amazing to me. And yeah, just, you know, overall, man, I enjoyed the fact that I actually got a chance to hang out with all of you and meet people face to face, and actually even talk to some of our investors and partners, and, you know, potential partners, and like, you know, artists that are building in the space, and, you know, obviously hang out with Danny and like do some pull-ups on the beach, and then like talk about Michael Saylor and how you guys are influencing his thinking on ordinals. And so, you know, all of these things I really didn't know it's going to happen when we're going into it, right? And so I'm definitely, you know, hyped, and I think it was worth the trip 100%, even though I had to spend like 24 hours on the plane because I was traveling, you know, across the world. But I would go again like in no time. And I'm just super excited to see like what we're going to do at different events, you know, because yeah, you guys are just like fun bunch of people, and you want to do stuff, you know, like you want to build stuff, you want to go work out, you know, at 6:30 a.m. even though you sleep for 3 hours, you know, and like it's just, you know, it's cool, you know, it's something, it's the vibe that I enjoy a lot. So yeah, man, I think it was incredible, and it's going to be even better in the future.
All right, can you guys stop giving me FOMO? It was bad enough last week.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry for that.
No, I know. I was going to ask something, because obviously Bitcoiners have a couple of different ways of looking at NFTs. So, what was the reception like as a kind of pure? Well, I mean, OCM pure NFT company. Well, they are really, aren't they? Even though they're built by Bitcoin OGers. What was that like? Did you get adverse reaction, Mike, from, you know, your laser eye maxis?
Well, yeah, I mean, speaking of laser eye maxis, you know, the highlight of the trip for me had, you know, outside of like honestly like hanging out with Jan, hanging out with Trevor, having that beach workout, those were amazing. But I mean, we sat down with Michael Saylor on Friday. You know, myself, Danny Yang, who's our CEO and founder, and Patrick, who is, you know, my esteemed colleague, and we discussed with, you know, basically one of the biggest laser eyes out there, and you know, he is an amazing individual. He understands, I think, better than most people on this earth, the value of Bitcoin, the value of decentralization, and the most secure network that's ever been built. And you know, what's really cool is people that get it, they get it very quickly. And those who don't, you know, like we are going, like we're educating, like we're this is what's cool about these meetups, is like you can deny people online, you can conflict with people online so easily. But when you meet a person in 3D, it's very hard to be, you know, to be an asshole, to be honest. Like it's hard to be a jerk to somebody when they're standing in front of you, and you can tell they're not a bad person. And so, you know, I think there's some conflict there still. There's still people who they just simply don't. I think it's just they don't understand. It's not stupidity or arrogance. It's literally just ignorance. They just don't know yet. And what's great about NFTs is, I think we as an NFT community, just a community of people who are connected through NFTs, like we're well equipped to like interact with people. One of the things that I love about OnChainMonkey is that I've had so many people tell me I have never had a bad interaction with an OnChainMonkey. If I see an OnChainMonkey profile picture or somebody wearing a hat or a t-shirt, I've always had a good interaction. And I think that's what's the most powerful part of this. You know, we are building one of the most powerful networks that's ever existed. And it's centered around, you know, building wealth for ourselves, our families, our communities, and ultimately using that wealth to make a positive impact. And so I think, what we're doing at Metagood and OnChainMonkey, like, I think it's sort of undeniable, and it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of like, we just haven't reached, everybody yet. But when we do, it's very like simple to onboard them, because our mission is pure, and we are looking to really make the world better using this technology. So I think it's just a matter of time. I think the narrative of like the laserized Bitcoin maxi it's a fun one. It's entertaining. I enjoy it. Like, I listen to people go back and forth, and sometimes it's a little bit too much, but I think it's necessary. Like, it's an attention getter. And so it's just like the speculation that exists in this market, right? The speculation is what gets people's attention. So when I believed in Bitcoin in 2017, most of the people around me didn't. And it wasn't until 2020 when, you had those multiples after they had already heard about it, that now they became interested. So I think these things, short term, they're very good. Long term, they can be negative. But ultimately, what we're about is building, something positive for the long term, and I think that's universally desired. And so yeah, I know there were surely some people who thought we might be crazy because we're talking about NFTs at the Bitcoin conference, but I think next year you're going to see a very different. You're going to see a lot more people out there.
Can you imagine? Jan said it could double. If you think about bringing in the Bitcoin interested people plus people who've joined NFTs communities, it could way more than double easily next year. I just want to say the funniest thing I saw all week, which is, like you were saying, talking face to face is hard to be an arsehole, but, on Twitter, it can be really easy. There was a picture of you, in the conference meeting room with the table, and you're sitting there with Sailor, all four of you, and someone put up a picture, a really long table with two people at either side, in response to the tweets saying, no, I don't think that's really good. Look at the size of the table. And I was like, that's someone who's never worked before, doesn't even just the basics of, you go in a conference room, they're going to have those big 8 to 10 seater tables, but it just made me chuckle. I was like, they're sitting with Michael, they're sitting there with this person. 100%. Not good because the table's big is probably the silliest thing I've seen in a long time.
It was a big room. So this is the picture you're talking about. And it's a decent sized table. One of my favorite movies is the original Batman with Michael Keaton. And there's a scene where he and I can't remember her name, but they're sitting at this extremely long table, like extremely long, because it's Bruce Wayne, But it kind of reminds me of that. But this is a meeting, I think of two of the most I think talented, most skilled, most professional, intelligent people in Bitcoin. I'm talking about Danny Yang and Michael Saylor. Danny Yang's, I wrote it in the tweet, but Michael's insights, like his insights, because he's new to ordinals. Like he's I don't know when he found out about it, but I mean, it's only been alive for 5 months, so we're all new. But he has amazing insights about what ordinals can do, and Danny has also amazing insights, but he has the technical knowledge of Bitcoin, as well as, he's an amazing entrepreneur. So those two meetings of the minds, like, I'll be honest, like we inscribed the picture, not this one. We'll probably inscribe this one too, but we inscribed the other one. And I think that will be an historic picture, because I think this meeting was two of the most powerful people in the Bitcoin community, really meeting face to face kind of for the first time. And I think there's going to be amazing things that come from that. So
super exciting. Ran over, didn't it? That I was hearing in Jan's show the other day that it ran over, and those slots do not run over. This guy is a professional. He does not go over time, because that knocks into the next person's time. And
it did. And I'll be honest, it was, to be in that room was So I was somebody who bought my first Bitcoin in 2017, thought I was going to be an anonymous, holder of Bitcoin, and to come and work for Danny and Amanda and Bill Ty, and with my colleague Patrick, to be working here with you. I mean, we're in a sense like we're working together, all three of us right now, to be a part of this industry. I'm seeing things happen for myself and for many people never would have happened. This is the power of connectivity. This is the power of NFTs. It's not about, the digital asset itself is very powerful. Digital ownership is incredibly important. But what I think is most important is that these are the kinds of things that are possible because now people are connecting in an organic way that they couldn't before. And so we're starting to actually disrupt, I think, the social networks that are running our world. I love Twitter. I was a huge user of Facebook. I have an Instagram. I use YouTube. I mean, we're on StreamYard right now. But I think, there are applications of these networks. There are things that are possible that aren't possible in those networks. They're now becoming possible because we're creating these networks ourselves. And so, yeah, it was a legendary meeting. I'm looking forward to what comes from it. And I couldn't be more excited about what's going to happen on Bitcoin and what we're doing.
It's so good. And Yogi, yes, you do get a free shot. Everyone gets a free shot of one of 300 for being here. But yeah, just put it in the form there. You were here for the show, so I'm sure that'll go down very well. But no, everyone's got a chance. Just make sure you get the application in.
The biggest thing for people right now is get your wallet funded. We can't announce anybody as accepted unless the wallet is funded. So
at what point is it pinged to get the detail? Is it when you submit the application, or is the check done when you check the application, if you know what I mean? Is it like the instant I connect the wallet, it's checking there's the 0.08 in there?
Basically, I mean, we can check it, so it's a little bit more of a manual thing, but we check. So and again, like it's only 300, so we really are curating this ourselves. It's not like algorithmically. We're curating this list. We're finding the best collectors. Obviously, we want to bring in some of our own, amazing OCM members, but really the 300 is about bringing in like a whole new crop of amazing people. We have, again, I think the best, if not, one of the best communities in this space. And it's because of the way that we've done it organically. And this is another, way, and this is another moment in which our wealthy digital nation is going to grow. And I'm super excited because it's all about the people. You guys know, I always love to say the people are the alpha. So we're going to bring in, even more amazing people and grow this thing. So super excited for it.
Absolutely, it's awesome.
Well, yeah. So I think we kind of covered most of it. Jan, do you have any last thoughts?
Maybe last thoughts from my side. Really just guys, kind of no matter what, I think, I obviously think that these dimensions are amazing, and I'm personally going after it. But I also just want to say that just the OnChainMonkey community in general is amazing, and I told you, we had a chance to hang out, make sure that beyond like joining these kinds of like online calls and online community meetups, make sure that you try to join as many of the real life ones, because I think that's really something that is the most impactful, and you're going to learn a ton. And, Danny and the entire team, they're just so approachable, and just so happy to support you on your journey. I think really, again, it's like the manifestation of the values that exist in this community. So I'm just personally super stoked for that. Just keep building with you guys, being part of the community. We're still super early, right? Like I think, I talk to people every day, and obviously we're in a hype cycle, right? Like, and people people say this all the time in NFTs. Oh, we're so early, and whatever. Like, and I don't want to sound like that guy that is giving some financial advice or anything like that. I'm just kind of like zooming out and looking at the space in general. Like, literally ordinals didn't exist like a couple months back. and we're still so early in building all the infrastructure, us, the wallet, and there's other people in the space building many different other tools. And obviously OnChainMonkey is kind of pioneering certain collection standards, etc. And, like we're just basically building it real life. Like when you look at Ethereum stuff, like, yes, it started with CryptoKitties and there was a lot of hype around that, but then it took a couple of years after that before we actually saw the Gen Art kind of collections being really hyped up and kind of taking over the narrative, and then the PFP collections kind of coming into it, like in a full swing. Obviously, like, some of the OG collections kind of already existed back in the days, but like the real kind of like adoption really didn't happen until couple years back, a couple years forward, And so from that perspective, I just want to say that we're so early. We need to build up a lot of stuff. And I would even encourage you guys, like, if you're builders, if you want to build some sort of like a startup or a company in the space, I think it's a great time to get in, because there is a lot of eyes on this and a lot of problems that have to be solved. And so, like, again, like, if you guys want to join some sort of team, like, we're always hiring, like Xverse is always there. We're hiring engineers, we're hiring more people because we need to build more stuff quicker. And so, like, if you are even open to those kinds of opportunities, like, let us know, because we need more builders, we need more excited people for this stuff. So that's just kind of like the final thoughts from my end, like really, like, we're still so early, and we need a lot of people to go and build with us.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, final thoughts for me is just like, Bitcoin is the most secure, most decentralized computing system that's ever been built. And it's the amount of space that you can store on Bitcoin is extremely scarce. It's 4 megabytes per block. It's 1 block per 10 minutes. And on average, I think around, kind of amounts to around 200 gigabytes roughly per year, which is not a lot of space. So you're talking about basically the most important computing application that's been built in human history. Nobody owns it. It's completely, it's very decentralized, and there's not a lot of storage space. So, what we're seeing now is people are desiring that space because of this ordinals protocol, because now you can put basically whatever you want on there, as long as you can figure out how to make it small enough that it can fit in that block space. So there is that constraint of the space, but that is what's going to drive a ton of innovation. That's what's driving us to do what we're doing with our collections. Our collections are very efficiently inscribed. They're very small. We took our Genesis collection and we did it in around 20 kilobytes. That's 2 bytes per image. So we produced right away a very scalable way to create generative art on Bitcoin. And I think that's going to be the future, because it's going to be too expensive to put large files. It already is. Like what we saw happen in the last couple months with some of these collections, that won't happen ever again, because it'll be too expensive for those people to do that. And, talking to Michael Saylor, like, he understands that the applications that Ordinals enables go far beyond digital art. Digital art is going to be an important application, and fungible tokens will be an important application, but there are applications for enterprise companies. There are defense applications. There are applications for just like humanity. Like if you want to put something on there that you don't want somebody to be able to delete off the internet, that is where you will put it. So this is an historic moment that we're a part of. And I always tell people, do not be in a rush to go out and buy, be in a rush to learn. And I love what Jan said, like, think about starting a company, think about joining a company, thinking about experimenting and building useful things, and, join our community, because we are the wealthy digital nation, and we want to empower people. We want to enrich people, so we're about building wealth for our community and helping our community build the things that are going to produce wealth out in the world and ultimately lead to a positive impact. So I want to thank you guys so much, for having me up. And Mr. Yellow, if you have closing thoughts.
Yeah. I was just going to quickly say, it's so amazing to watch Xverse, to watch OnChain, Monkey really embracing the ordinal stuff, the way, Xverse didn't exist, the way OnChain were on it so early. The innovation that's going on is just fantastic, and I love being a part of this community. Yogi just got a couple of questions.
Yeah, I see that.
So
yeah, so Yogi, yeah, we do. So even if you applied really early, I mean, that's something that we look at too. But yeah, we're going and looking back at everybody. So it's totally fine if you're just funding. You know, just get it funded, and you're in the list of people that we're looking at. So yeah.
And a good second one.
Yeah, so selection off of the tiers out, so that there's allocations for each tier. For the 2,000, that will be for members. So that is a fair randomized system we're using there. That's not like a, you know, that's not a curated list. It's going to be a fair random process.
And they're independent, the two things, the 300 and the 2,000. The 2,000 is going to be done randomly and fairly for the people that qualify.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sweet. Oh, it's been brilliant, guys. I'd love to say we've moved on with preparation this week, but we actually went less preparation. So that's
we did, but I think it went well. I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, no, it's been really good, and like I say, I think
I appreciate you guys. It has been great. Always great to hang out with you guys, and you know, let's do more of these. You know, like in the future. I definitely want to keep contributing to the community. And yeah, you know, like guys, beyond this mint, if you have any questions for Xverse, you know, you can always DM me, and you know, I will be happy to address your concern or, you know, your question. And yeah, Mike, you know, Yellow, let's hang out soon. You know, I don't know where and when, but it definitely has to happen.
Oh, well, I'm actually thinking about the London one. I might have missed the boat for getting a ticket to Aspreys, but I'll try.
Let me know. Let me know, because I'm gonna be there for like a day or so, and then I need to go to Prague. But let's definitely hang out if you end up being in the city. And guys, peace out. I gotta run. Really appreciate you. Awesome head, by the way. Bitcoin hat. Love it.
All right. Keep rubbing it in.
We've got one coming, you Mr. Yellow. You've got one coming.
See you all soon,
guys. Thanks so much, everybody.
See ya.
Talk soon.